So, if you had to choose a superhero for best friend, who would you choose? I did this topic yesterday, and my two answers were Black Panther and Captain America. I couldn't narrow it down to just one because I feel like they both have traits that I need to split them both in half to complete my whole. But since you know about superheroes better, I think you would have a better answer.
Best friend.
Yep, best friend. For a moment, I thought about Tony, but I feel like my personality wouldn't mesh well with him. He's too much of a, I guess, Casanova type dude. Yeah, but I'm curious, who would you pick? I'm not sure because maybe you would go with a DC hero. I picked Marvel because I know Marvel characters better, admittedly. And the MCU, since it's a visual, I feel like I remember those better.
I'm trying to think of a hero that doesn't have a lot of villains, so I don't end up like a victim or something like that.
Fair.
So it's like,
Well, I would say think of it more. Instead of focusing on what the dangers they may bring, just focus on who's possessing traits or characteristics, personalities that you think would be compatible with you. Which one of them has values that you could say match with you best? There's really no danger to which one you pick. If anything, you could technically pick a villain, even if they're not heroes, but maybe you could pick one that's like a once villain redeemed into a hero that made sense, as opposed to those villains that get redeemed for no reason. Yeah, it can be anybody, but for the sake of simplicity, we think of superheroes more positively, so I think it would make better sense to have a superhero as best friend.
well, I'd probably go with Static Shock, just because he's more of a. I could relate to him on just being a fan of things like comic books, and hey, I mean, if it's something like that, I might have to. Like I like Batman, I could really get my discipline up with him, but as you know, if I want to have some fun, it would probably be between like Static Shock or Kamala Khan or somebody like that, because they're actually Miss Marvel. They're actually like fun. You know what I mean? They're not always uptight and stuff.
Does Static Shock have a different name? Because I dead ass don't know who that is.
Nah, that's his superhero name. But he's in the DC universe, and he's black. So,
I know you mentioned him a while back. I just don't remember. And that's a very important point too. You would probably want to pick someone who you feel like you could culturally mesh with. That's why I had to pick T'Challa too, because I feel like, okay, he may be royalty, but it's not like the royalty that we're used to thinking about, say from the European perspective. African, in this case, fictionally speaking, African-inspired royalty is different. Because in real life, they're different. And that's what I was thinking about when I thought about who I would choose. It's like if they were to translate into real life, whose values would be most compatible with me.
yeah, that was tough because it was between really. I mean, it would be if I had to have a friend, it would definitely be one of the black ones. So we talking about. I had to think of Jon Stewart, Green Lantern, Luke Cage definitely, because he'd be cool to hang out with. But I wouldn't like the criminal element that follows him.
Darn, you know who I'm thinking about? Now I'm thinking about Daredevil because I like that he's a lawyer and I can definitely have good times arguing and debating topics and ideas and thoughts and laws and rules and all that. I didn't think of him. Darn. And I also like the thought of your ass has to be right on the camera lens, right? So anyway, I like the thought of him being also a symbol of like disabled people, because I feel like they don't get as much representation, but everybody has the potential of ending up being disabled. And then we see him, that never stopped him from, you know, being a good lawyer and getting things done.
Oh no, I mean, if anything, because of what
Sharpened
happened to him,
him.
yeah, he can see better than anyone that has that vision.
Yeah, I don't think he would have caught that one brick had he not gone blind. He would have probably been knocked out by it.
Now all of his other senses are sharpened. else.
Now, now I want to ask a different question. Who would you choose as your mentor? Like your teacher? It doesn't necessarily have to be a genius level, but if you were to need to get some kind of education, say about life or just practical skills, who do you think would be your best teacher?
Oh man, Bruce Wayne. Yeah, he's well thought out and thorough. The Batman.
Fair.
Yeah, he's really balanced, calm under pressure and everything. Yeah.
I would have to think about it. Like I'll look at a list of heroes so I can marinate on it a little bit. But that's a good answer. Bruce, very resourceful.
Yeah, he's like knows the answer before everyone else.
When I was thinking about answering this question, it beat my own ass. I had to think about it staring at the wall in my room for like 5 minutes straight. Because I kept bouncing back and forth between various. Then I just narrowed it down to those two. I feel like they're the ones I know best anyway. I thought about Spider-Man for a moment for his sciencey mind and how there seems to be a Spider-Man now thanks to the multiverse that we can be like, okay, you can pick one that's closely related to your age, because I feel like for each stage of my life there's always been a new Spider-Man. But yeah, outside of that, I'm not sure. I feel like I like for my best friend to show a lot of leadership, and I feel like Cap and Black Panther have their own leadership path. I'm not saying Peter isn't a leader, but I feel like given that he's young, like he's always a high schooler, he's not there yet.
Yeah, like I feel like with Peter, he's learning those things, as he lives. It's like he's not already. And if he doesn't know, he'll go seek the advice from somebody.
Right.
Or, if he has some kind of team up. I also thought Thor, but it depends on which Thor you're talking about. If you're talking about MCU Thor, man, you got to get past a bunch of jokes before he gets to his wisdom. But he does have good wisdom. Yeah, like he's a man that's lived a long time, and then his father was very wise, Odin. But it's like he has it, but you got to get past the jokes first, man.
I would think I would fight. I would fight with him a lot on that, because I'm like, you have this super wise father, but here you are acting like a clown. Why aren't you more representative of your position and what you have inherited from him? You're embarrassing him.
Well, if you're talking about comic story, you ain't got to deal with any of that. It's already on display. He's always serious.
Even the way he's drawn, he looks like a more serious, less clownish character.
Who else? Ooh, you know what I thought about? Oh man, you know who would be cool to hang out with? Except I don't want to go in the sewer and hang out with them.
Oh, the turtles.
Yeah, man, they would be awesome to hang with.
Yeah, there's 4 of them too.
Yeah, shoot, man. I might have to change that, but no, I can't deal with being in the sewer and eating pizza in the sewer. You don't bathe regularly. I'm like, nah, man.
Your friends, they stink.
Right.
They stink.
Nobody talks about that. Deodorant. Y'all use that? How often are y'all washing your, linen, your garments?
Well, I think at some point we all have had a good friend who hasn't smelled great, but that didn't deter us from having a friendship with them.
But they didn't live in the sewer. I'm like, you gotta get past that first. And, it's a different funk. It's not like BO funk. It's that and then some, because you're dealing with all kinds of septic stuff, and I don't think it's... I would imagine they smell it, but that hasn't been addressed that I've seen in the lore. So I'm gonna go and say that they stink. I'm saying, I'm like, the Foot Clan can smell you.
Well, this is fiction stench. Maybe fiction stench wouldn't smell to us the way that it smells to them.
Yes, so.
For all we know, if the author hasn't written it into the story, it's not happening. Yeah. So maybe what we call a sewer, it's actually not as toxic for them, even if there are known toxins to them in their world. But remember, in this world, we're judging character. Who would make you feel good?
Oh, yeah,
not necessarily who has it all together. Like, Who's the best bathed? Who's the
Oh yeah.
wisest?
Well, outside of that, I would definitely hang out with the Ninja Turtle because you got like everything. You know, you got wisdom, you got fun, you got intelligence, you got discipline.
I keep thinking about whether I would want Professor X to be my teacher slash mentor, but he done did some shady things. Then again, he has an all-knowing mind, or a mind that has the potential to know everything, because he can crack into people's minds, like know everything on an earth level. But I'm not sure, judging by some decisions that we had disclosed to us that he made in the movies, I'm not sure he's like old Professor X, sure, but younger Professor X. At what stage am I meeting Professor X?
The Titans, I don't know if we should put them in a group by themselves. They would be fun to hang out with. Teen Titans.
You can have a group of best friends,
Yeah.
but if you had to have a one-on-one with one of them, because in a group, I wouldn't think that you would want to tell everything to everyone at the same time, at any given time. Maybe that would disqualify some of them from being best friends with you.
Oh yeah, it would definitely be Cyborg. But after that, Robin might be. But he's out.
I think Raven would be my best friend only because we seem to have the same level of feeling peeved by people. We just retreat into ourselves. And she wears blue.
I want to say Wolverine saw like to a point, but now danger follows him, man. If you're his friend, you're definitely in danger. You'll be used as a tool just to set him off. And then you might be in danger of getting killed by Sabretooth. If that.
Well, Sabretooth doesn't have to find out you're one of Wolverine's friends.
No. Dude, you know who else? The Thing. Ben Grimm. Yeah. Yeah, he would be good to hang out with. A good friend. He's just a regular dude. Doing regular people things. Getting groceries and stuff. Having a walk. Having a talk. Lifting weights.
Yeah, like Cap or Black Panther, either of them will help with fitness. Like Captain America, we've seen him jogging. We haven't necessarily seen T'Challa's workout routine, but it's gotta be a good one.
Yeah, man, he was giving Cap that work in Civil War, so. And he was whooping up on Bucky too.
Yeah, I like that. In the movie, they show him moving pretty close to how a cat would move. You know how they had like those that ape tribe people with M'Baku. Well, you could tell that they move based off their body type. They're like, big and stuff. So they move a little stiffer looking, whereas with T'Challa, when you see him fight, he has like the agility of a cat.
Yeah, that was showcased well.
Especially in Civil War. That's when I really noticed it. Civil War and the fight against Killmonger. Okay, good talk.